Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy from Rebel Nutrition, and in this video I'm going to be talking about one of the biggest questions that I get from you guys, and honestly I get emails about this every single week, and that is, do I still recommend the NTA program? So those of you who haven't been really following along with my journey, I am an NTP, which is a nutritional therapy practitioner. I'm certified from the Nutritional Therapy Association, which is the NTA, which I will be referring to in this video. And I also made another video about my thoughts on the program that I will link to either below or above this video, depending on where you are watching it from. Now IGTV and YouTube have like different areas that they put the links. But anyways, if you're familiar with the NTA's program, they really promote an ancestral diet of properly prepared, nutrient-dense foods, which they believe are animal-based proteins, eggs, vegetables, fruits, properly prepared nuts and seeds, grains, certain grains, things like that. And if you've been following along with me for the last couple months, you know that I've actually kind of transitioned to more of a plant-based style of eating, which is quite different than what they generally recommend. But I will say that they do really promote the idea of bio-individuality, which means that different diets work for different people, which I think is pretty cool. However, since they don't necessarily promote or agree with, I would say, a plant-based style of eating, I've been getting a lot of questions of people that maybe are eating plant-based themselves, or they're vegan or vegetarian, and they're wondering like, I want to start a career in nutrition. Do you think that the NTA would be a good fit for me? So just to quickly answer the question of, do I still recommend the NTA program, even though it isn't totally in alignment with what I'm doing for myself right now? I 100% still recommend the NTA. I love the NTA, and I just wanted to throw that out there before I get into more of the questions that you guys ask me on a regular basis, because even though I'm kind of going not against what they teach and recommend, because they do promote bio-individuality, that's a hard word to say, I still do feel like they kind of look at plant-based or vegan style diets as being less optimal for human nutrition. So whether you agree with that or not, totally up to you, but I do think that's kind of a overarching theme of their curriculum. And I will say that depending on like the instructor that you get and that type of thing, I think some would be more open to you being plant-based in their I mean, no one's gonna tell you that like what you're doing is wrong, at least I don't think they would, but I think that they just have different beliefs on what they think is optimal human nutrition. So take that for what you will. I do love the program though, because I think no matter which way you're eating, it's really important to learn about things that challenge your beliefs. So for example, if you're somebody who is vegan and you think that that is the optimal way to eat for human nutrition, I think it's really interesting to learn why other people believe that that's not as healthy, or why it's actually optimal to include animal products, and vice versa. If you are somebody who is totally a paleo enthusiast, it can be really helpful to challenge your own beliefs and learn about veganism and why those people think that veganism is the optimal way of eating for human nutrition. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna now go through a couple more of the common questions I get about the NTA. And if you guys have more questions that I didn't answer, make sure to leave them in the comments below this video, and I can always make another video about this, answering those for you. So one of the top things that I get emailed about is people saying that they don't have the finances to afford the program right now. And they're wondering like, you know, it's quite expensive, should I still do it? Is it worth it? And I will just tell you, just from my own experience, it has increased in price by I think $3,000 or $4,000 since I went through the program. So when I went through it, I think it was about 2 years ago now, it was about, I think it was almost $4 grand. And I will just be honest with you, at that time, I did not have $4 grand to be spending on a nutrition program. I was already in debt, and to be honest, I put the entire program, including my like study materials and books and things like that, on a credit card, which was not the smartest financial decision. But I will say I'm still so glad that I did it and I just went for it, because it felt right, and it was something that I had already been thinking about doing for a couple years, and I just kept putting it off and putting it off. And it's one of those things that what really made me decide to go with it is that I knew that if I didn't do it right then, that I would regret it forever. And I truly, truly feel like I would have regretted it if I didn't do it. So I loved it. I loved the people I met. I loved everything I learned. It was an awesome program. So I think the only person that can make a decision about if you can do it financially is going to be you. But I will just say, if it's a feeling that you're feeling like you're gonna regret it if you don't do it, just know that the price of the program will probably continue to increase because it's getting more popular. And I personally believe that taking risks like that and putting it on a credit card if you have to, if it feels right, for me, that's something that I will do, and it was totally the catalyst for me to start my business, and I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't done it. So, okay, so another question that I get a lot about the NTA program is how long it took me to start making money after I got certified. So I know that's a big question, especially for people who feel like they're not sure if they can afford it. What's the ROI on the program? Well, excuse me. Eric's laughing so hard at me. Oh my god. Okay. So it took me probably about a year after I was certified to be making any sort of consistent income as a nutritionist. But I will say that I feel like I kind of had an advantage, even though it did take me a year, which maybe some people think is a long time. But one of the best things that I did, and I really recommend that anybody else do while they're going through the program, is to start like blogging, start building up your social media following, start doing anything business related that you can to build your business, and get all those things in place while you're still going through the program, so that once you are certified, you already have all of the groundwork laid to start seeing clients. So I have a lot of resources about how to do this on my website. I will link to one of the trainings and downloads that I have below if you're somebody who maybe are in the program right now and you want to start getting your business in place. So grab those. And again, it took me a year to start making money, and that was without really having the tips and strategies in place. I think knowing what I know now, I would have been able to streamline that and make it a lot faster. So don't feel like it's gonna take you a year until you're making a consistent income. But definitely go check out the resources on my website, and hopefully I can teach you some ways to get that going faster than what I did. Another question I got is about the renewal process. So somebody was wondering like how hard it is to stay active as a NTP, and I will just say, since it's been, I actually just went through my renewal process of getting CEUs, and it was super easy. There's a link on their website that has like everything listed that is different trainings and different courses that you can go through to get your CEUs, and then you just have to pay a fee. It's like $200, and that's every 2 years. So it's really not that hard to stay active once you get certified, as long as you don't let your membership or your certification lapse. And also, I will just throw in that 2 of my courses, both are applicable for CEUs from the NTA, so that's cool too. Okay, so that answers the main questions that I get about the NTA. I know you guys always have questions about the NTA, so if you have more that come up, especially after watching this video, leave them for me below, send me an email about them, and maybe I can make another video if you want me to. But the main thing I will say is, if asked the question, would I do it again? Even though now I'm eating plant-based, which is totally like not necessarily what the NTA promotes or teaches, I for sure 100% without a doubt would do the program again. It was awesome, and I never felt like, even though when I was going through the program I was like super paleo, I don't feel like if I had been plant-based or vegan or vegetarian at that time, I don't think anybody would have like shamed me for it or anything like that. I think that they just believe that an ancestral type of diet includes animal products, and there's a lot of science to back that up. So I'm pretty like open-minded at this point about all different types of eating, and I just think, you know, whatever works for you, do it. So if you are looking to get more knowledge and get some sort of credential to turn it into a wellness or nutrition business online, it could be a really good option for you. But there are other options out there too, like Institute of Integrative Nutrition, which I think has a little bit more of a plant-based approach. I'm not 100% sure on that. I did not go through the program, so I'm not sure, but there are a lot of other programs out there. So if you have further questions, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm not gonna lie, my arm is really sore from holding this camera the whole time. So I'm gonna say goodbye now. Okay, talk to you in a couple days. Bye.